The clock struck 9:01 a.m. and the building buzzed with the rhythmic clack of heels, the soft ding of elevators, and the low murmur of voices rising in urgency. On the 47th floor of Andronex Technologies, the largest AI infrastructure firm in New York City, the mood turned from high-functioning stress to sheer panic in a matter of seconds. It was supposed to be the biggest day in the company's 18-year history. A $2.4 billion contract with the U.S. Department of Defense was on the verge of signing, but just as CEO Reagan Hale was about to present the live demonstration to top federal officials via global livestream, the entire system crashed. The screens all blinked. Every monitor went black. And then the screaming began. Reagan slammed his hand on the long obsidian boardroom table, his face turning red. What the hell just happened? His CTO, a wiry man named Daniel Kovic, was already hunched over a laptop with sweat on his temples. It's not a glitch. This is a full internal breach. The servers are gone. Not offline. Gone. The general from the Pentagon, who had just taken his seat, folded his arms slowly. I hope this is part of the show. Reagan tried to chuckle. Just a hiccup. Happens with tech, right? The general didn't blink. Down in the sub-basement level, a man with a grey beard, heavy boots, and the mop moved slowly through the shadows. His name tag read Edward, though no one ever asked for it. He had been working in the building for 18 years. Same boots, same routine, same silence. Edward had been around long enough to see 5 different CEOs come and go. He'd mopped spilled coffee in $1 million deals and picked up shattered glass after boardroom fights. He never said a word, just nodded, cleaned, and walked on. But Edward had a secret, one he had kept buried deeper than any server rack in that building. Upstairs, Reagan's pulse thundered in his ears. Daniel, fix it. Now, do you hear me? The Pentagon is watching. Every investor is watching. Daniel pulled cables, tapped code, ran diagnostics, and nothing. The data isn't just erased, he whispered. It's restructured, as if someone rerouted the whole internal framework from the ground up. This wasn't an attack. It was internal, like someone knew our system inside out. And in that moment, the realization hit them all. The company's entire foundation, AI systems, analytics, code libraries, neural nets, everything had been built over years. Now it was all inaccessible, gone. Back in the server room, Edward placed his mop against the wall. He stared at the blinking red lights on the mainframe tower. With surprising grace for a man his age, he stepped over wires, pulled back a panel, and pressed his hand against a small fingerprint scanner hidden under the rack's frame, a feature no one knew existed. It beeped green. Then he sat down at a dusty terminal that hadn't been touched in a decade. The screen came to life. He typed. His fingers moved with fluid precision, like a pianist returning to a forgotten symphony. Commands rolled in silence, lines of code that hadn't been accessed in 15 years. His code flashed back to 0071, a younger, stronger Edward in a suit. Edward F. Langston, co-founder and original CTO of Andronex, sat across from Reagan Hale, who was at the time just a hungry entrepreneur with money but no vision. They clashed often. Edward, a genius with ethical concerns. Reagan, a strategist who saw only growth. When the board chose Reagan as CEO, Edward vanished. He was forced out quietly after refusing to approve the company's pivot toward military AI applications. No one knew where he went. Until now. Present. The room upstairs buzzed with chaos. Phones rang off the hook. A junior developer burst in. Pale-faced, "Sir, someone is rerouting the core systems from inside the building." "Who?" Reagan barked. "We don't know, but the backups are rebuilding. Fast, faster than we thought possible." Reagan turned slowly toward the live monitor. One by one, screens flickered back to life. Across the globe, investor streams were restored. Pentagon security nodes reconnected. Internal systems came back online, exactly as they were, but cleaner, better. And the single note blinked on Reagan's screen. You never secured the routes. Reagan's hands shook. Edward, Daniel, gasped. Langston. That's impossible. He's dead, or retired, or in a monastery somewhere. No, Reagan muttered. He never left. Down in the basement, Edward watched as the final systems aligned perfectly into place. He didn't smile. He didn't expect thanks. He just closed the terminal, picked up his mop, and disappeared into the corridor. An hour later, Reagan stormed down to sub-basement level 3. He found nothing but an empty hallway and the soft scent of bleach. But on the wall, where no one ever looked, was a brass plaque, dusty, tarnished, forgotten. It read, "This server room was originally designed and coded by Edward F. Langston, co-founder of Andronex Technologies." And beneath it, in freshly written chalk, a message: "Some systems don't need control, just care." In the weeks that followed, no one could trace how the system had healed itself. Investors called it a miracle. The media chalked it up to proprietary self-repair protocols. Reagan never corrected them, but Reagan now walked the halls a little slower. He nodded to every janitor. He made sure no name badge went unnoticed. Because somewhere, in the quiet corners of his billion-dollar company, walked a ghost from the past who had once dreamed of using AI to protect lives, not profit from them. A man who had built it all. And when it was all about to collapse, he saved it.